I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't
God
that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl. The Lombardi Trophy is coming home.
And that's the last Lombardi Trophy that came home. Super Bowl 45. Joe Buck on the call. What a fun week it's been to reminisce just about how amazing it is to win a Super Bowl. Talk about things you don't take for granted, Tommy Wartz.
What's up, Trev?
Good to see you, buddy.
We're up. We're at it. Let's go. It's 6 a.m. We're back. I haven't worked with Trevor in a couple months. I'm going to be on this show 3 more times for you next time.
Yeah,
like, we got to –
thanks.
It's Friday. We're jacked up this morning, man. Let's do it.
We're awake at least. That's what we are.
We are.
And I have a story, Wisconsin, from this morning that involves said Tommy Wartz and being awake.
And as far as everyone else knows – there's no story right now.
Wait about 20 minutes until we get to the whatever else, anything else segment of the show. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wartz today in for Josh. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I felt like I was living in a Matrix. I will tell you the story in a bit. But first, we got to play catch up. Packers, Brewers, Badgers, Bucks, and other. It's what we do every day here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Engaging with you on the Nicolay Law fan talk and text line, 414-677-1250. We'll get to all the Giannis stuff or the lack thereof later in the show on multiple occasions. So if you're tuning in to go, I wonder what the guys think about Giannis. Oh, we'll get there. But it's really, is it about Giannis? Or is this really about journalism?
I hate that word over the last few days.
Yeah. Don't you have a degree in journalism?
No, I have a comms degree. I've never claimed to be a journalist.
Same thing, I guess.
I've never tried to be called a journalist because I know when I am and not a journalist.
Well, I'm going to sound like one now for just a hot second.
Okay.
We'll see how the news sticks.
All right.
As we go Packers, since rumor mills are apparently a thing that everyone should believe in life, let's start the rumor. George Pickens is going to be a Packer?
CD was here and told me that Micah was really, really in his ear at the Pro Bowl about George Pickens. How do you feel about that?
I mean, Mike is out here
Keyshawn
recruiting.
too.
Mike is out here. Oh, Keyshawn was trying to
Keyshawn
get him. They're out here recruiting.
I heard that all the Packers were out there trying to get George. How do you feel
doing
about
their
that?
due diligence. But no, I mean, it's if you can bring in another player, George Pickens, he had a phenomenal year. He's a great player. I would love to have the most talented players on our team at all times, and we'll see. You're not in control.
What would be your route of choice to throw your route of choice to throw to George Pickens?
Oh man, I throw him a go ball, watch him go up and get it. I've played basketball with him. I know what type of bounce he's got. So yeah.
Where have you played basketball with George Pickens?
I'm gonna keep it a secret. We ain't gonna give away those.
No, I love these kind of connections. Then you and I talked about you, Micah, having the same agent, and lo and behold, he became a Packer. So
George got the same agent as well. George got the same agent as well.
David Mulligetta.
Yeah, so we all get together for Elite Week. David brings us all out. We get together and do some cool things.
Folks, George
shout out
Pickens
David
to the Packers.
Start the rumor, Tommy.
Wow. I mean, can Green Bay get fined just for that conversation right there?
I don't know.
Like after all the offseason shenanigans with Jordan Love and Kay Adams about Micah Parsons, to have she should understand she's got some more powers than anyone else, at least, or looking ahead in the future. I don't know, Trev. I would almost kind of. I don't think I want it. I don't think I want it to happen.
I don't know what checkbook we're going to go and grab.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. There's very limited money next year. And while George Pickens, a great receiver and probably would be the number one on this Packers team, they did just extend Christian Watson for a 1-year deal to kind of be the same guy. So I know that his health has always been in question too. Now I'm worried that Kay Adams just speaks stuff into existence.
Well, if that's the case, then I hope she sends money to Grandpa Packers. George Pickens had 93 catches, 1,429 yards, 9 touchdowns, and according to NFL.com, he's going to command upwards of $20 million a year and a franchise tag worth an estimated $28 million per year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I don't like you're saying. I don't know if it's possible, and I don't know if I'm even in love with it.
Well, I am in love with Jordan Love. At least I'm on this side of my life in love with Jordan Love. And he does not love being at the Super Bowl and not playing in the game. Here's what he had to
obviously
say.
you won't be playing, but that is not the case. So I'm here, and now I'm coaching flag football. So, it's obviously, like you mentioned, wish you were playing, but that's not the case.
Those poor kids. I mean, I'm here. Yeah, I wish I was playing, but guess what? Here I am coaching flag football.
Yeah. Any
Killing
other
it.
dumb questions in the crowd? Would love to know. Would love to
That
know if
audio
anyone else.
courtesy of our guy, Dave Schrader at WBAY. I'm not sure if Dave asked him that or if somebody else, but yeah. What was the question? What do you think the question was for Jordan Love to go, yeah, wish I was playing? Well, freaking duh, dude.
Exactly. Yeah. Asking the professional athlete who has been so hyper competitive throughout what's Jordan Love, 27 years old, the first 27 years of his life. Hey, do you wish you were playing in the Super Bowl this weekend instead of coaching flag football? Anyone you ask on the Packers would have said the exact same thing, no matter what.
You could have asked him if he was willing to do anything else outside of flag football, and he'd be like, yep, Super Bowl, actually. We'll go that.
My agent's cool with George Pickens. He couldn't get me out of this flag football game, though.
But by all means, he can get him $23 million a year, and I'm coaching flag football at the Super Bowl. Thanks.
Yeah, for $55 million a year, too. I think he's doing all right.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
The only other news that broke yesterday for the Packers, Noah Pauley. That's the connection that we have now with Christian Watson, North Dakota State, new wide receivers coach. He did coach Watson in college as well. Anything else to know about him, Tommy?
No, it's he was the one who is it Pauly? I thought it was Mahaffey. Oh no, he left, right? Yeah. So they lose Ryan Mahaffey as well in this, I believe, because Christian Watson getting some sort of influence in that room. The wide receivers, I feel like, improved from one year to the next. I think Christian Watson had some sort of breakout, if you will, in his limited time. I think people were excited about Jaden Reed when he came back, and then Matthew Golden at the end of the year. Romeo Dobbs had a very nice finale with the Green Bay Packers.
What a problem to have.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be all right.
If I asked you what Toyota-thon is, that's why Love's out there at the Super Bowl, obviously wearing the Toyota. I mean, I don't think it's Toyota-thon anymore, but he's a big Toyota guy.
Yeah.
He's got a Toyota?
No, I have a Jeep.
You do? What kind of Jeep?
Commander 07. I've never had a car newer. That's the newest car I've gotten.
I have a Jeep.
I know you have like Jeeps. A customized Shaquille O'Neal Jeep.
No,
it looks like it. It's a massive car.
I'm a massive man.
Yeah, I understand. Like, I would never have to even consider the size of your car as my car because of like what you're walking around.
You get up into that thing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean, right? That's what I'm talking about. It looks like your car's custom made, and you're like, no, actually, they just make like it's like you shop that DXL Jeep, like.
It's just a little lift kit, man.
Okay,
like,
sorry.
I would like to not have to jump down into my vehicle. Yeah. So I found one that is level with my hips, bud.
Yeah. If you had like an ironic PT Cruiser, it wouldn't make sense. So I get it.
No. All right, we're up to speed on Packers. Let's go Brewers. The World Baseball Classic, Tokyo, March 5th through the 17th. The Brewers put out their participants yesterday on Twitter. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Brewers that are on the 40-man roster that are participating in the World Baseball Classic. We got a couple Canadians. Hey, Tyler Black, Rob
Zastryzny.
That was it.
God bless.
That was close.
Yeah.
We got a couple guys from Venezuela, obviously. William Contreras, Jackson Churio. Jory Ortiz is playing for Mexico. One lone U.S. participant. We know that guy. His name is Bryce Terang. Do you get into the World Baseball Classic, Thomas?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm a little concerned about what's going on right now with the insurance policies being denied. We got the news yesterday that Mike Trout did not get insurance and will not be a part of the Team USA roster.
For those that don't know, what are you talking about?
Well, so the prices of insurance during this World Baseball Classic have skyrocketed, and the ability to be covered has also gotten more difficult because of the last World Baseball Classic, in which we saw some key injuries to guys like Jose Altuve, missed, I think, about 40 to 60 games. And then, of course, the more infamous Edwin Diaz, when he was celebrating, tore his ACL and missed the whole 2023 season after the World Baseball Classic. So more guys have been denied insurance coverage because if they are to get hurt, the insurance would cover their salary so the teams do not have to. For instance, Francisco Lindor has an injury history. He does not have coverage for Puerto Rico. Carlos Correa does not have coverage for Puerto Rico. Jose Barrios does not have coverage for Puerto Rico. Ellie De La Cruz does not have coverage for the Dominican Republic. There are a lot of big names missing out. Team Puerto Rico had 8 guys get denied. They're talking about possibility of them not even being involved in the tournament now. So Mike Trout was a name that was first leaked for the USA team. I think the event's awesome. And the last one was so good, and it couldn't have ended any more storybook wise with Trout going up against Ohtani when they were teammates for the final out. Like that was
and they
awesome.
Were smiling.
Yes.
There were smiles. That was so good to watch.
But it was also, you could just tell it was like, all right, I'm gonna throw my best stuff. You come at it with the best stuff right here.
Didn't Trout strike out?
He struck him out.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Tokyo, San Juan, Houston, Miami. The World Baseball Classic starts March 5th, runs through the 11th with the pool play, and then through the 17th with the quarters and the semis and the championship. The other Brewers news yesterday, Tommy, they announced that season tickets, not season ticket packages per se, but the season's worth of tickets go on sale on February 12th. All games for Milwaukee Brewers baseball go on sale February 12th. I have the 2026 schedule in front of me, my lad. What are we looking at here? What's the game you got to go to? It looks like opening day at home for the first time in a long time.
Right,
in
against
March,
the Sox. Yeah.
the 26th against the Sox. Yep. Obviously, the Cubs games are bleep that. You should just definitely
I
bleep
dumped
that.
you already. I don't know why
Thank
you
you.
said that.
Sorry. There's a couple 2-3 times that they're on this schedule. You ever been to the dump, I call it, down there?
No, but I will probably go down there at some point this year.
Oh, yeah?
I'm actually I really wanted to go to a White Sox game last year. That was just a random one because they were giving away an old Comiskey Park that was a working AM FM radio, and then they delayed the game, so I couldn't go to the second game. It was supposed to be in June when I got the tickets, and then it ended up having to go till September. And well, Tommy was already deep into Brewer season at that point, so it wasn't going to be like, hey, can I miss a day? No, wasn't going to work.
If there's got to be a game that you got to be at February 12th, get your checkbook ready or that debit card or credit card or however, Apple Pay, tap this, swipe that, whatever.
Yeah,
February.
Expense your work account. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could go wrong.
Do it.
February 12th, tickets for the Milwaukee Brewers season go on sale. Nothing else Brewers, yeah?
No, I think that sounds pretty good.
All right. Badgers. Let's go there next. We have a game for Badgers basketball at Indiana tomorrow, 11 o'clock Central. The Badgers 16-6 overall. Indiana 15-8. Badgers 8-3 in the Big Ten. Indiana 6-6. We'll see how this shakes out. Wisconsin's tied for 5th in the standings. This is the time of the season when you got to play your best basketball. The good news for the Badgers, Boyd and Blackwell are 18.5 points per game for Blackwell. Team leading for Nick Boyd, 20 points per game.
Mm-hmm.
Later in the show, we may or may not have a guest from Badgers basketball.
Well, and you bring up Boyd and Blackwell, who are obviously having phenomenal years right now for the Badgers, but Big Trev, the most important player on the team is Nolan Winter. He's the most important player on the team. He's the big, he gets the boards. And every time he has a big game, the Badgers are winning. And not to say that they can't win without him scoring as an option, but they need him to be down there bully balling, especially when you go up against teams like Purdue, who have a random 7'4" guy every freaking year on their team. And this is a very competitive Big Ten. I think that the Badgers could be getting overlooked even a little bit with how dominant the top part of the conference is. You're looking at Michigan 21-1, Illinois is 20-3, Nebraska is 20-2, Michigan State and Purdue each with just 4 losses on the ledger as well this season. Like, this could be a situation like we had last year where the SEC looked so good during this, and I think had like 11 teams make the tournament or whatever it is. The Big Ten is very good at basketball this year, and I think the Badgers are getting undersold.
Those 4 teams that are above the Badgers in the Big Ten that you just listed off, the Badgers only play 2 of them the rest of the season. We don't play Michigan anymore. We don't play Nebraska. Obviously, Illinois, there's 5 teams in there. So Illinois, we play at Illinois the 10th.
They're good, man. That they're fun to watch too.
Purdue finishes the season at Purdue for Wisconsin.
Yeah, okay.
And Michigan State, we play at home on February 13th.
All right, so those 3.
Those are the big ones.
Michigan State also always has they have Cohen Carr on their team right now, and he just caught a lob, I think, last weekend that the whole place goes nuts. Michigan State has a half-court alley-oop where the entire stadium goes nuts in the all-white every single year. They just find these guys, they breed them on trees out there in Sparty land over there. Yeah, I'm
Sparky.
Rent free in my head. Sparky, rent free.
I think we're going to be chatting with him at some point this morning.
He's rent free.
We have a story for you that involves Tommy Wirtz and a couch, and it's coming up in the I Have Questions portion of the show, which debuts today. Whenever we're done with this segment, if you have questions, Tommy has answers. 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. All right, on to the Bucks. Will you explain what in the ever-living F just happened over the last 6 months in our lives?
No, I don't know how to explain it, Trev, because that's why I don't claim to be a journalist. And Shams Charania, this isn't even the last few months. This is just, it got ramped up over the last few months. This is nothing we haven't seen year in and year out now. And it felt different this time, Trevor. It did. I will admit.
For sure. It was different this time.
It was different. There were actual requests.
The end result, exactly the same. If you live under a rock and accidentally landed on a sports talk station this morning here in the state of Wisconsin, Giannis is still a Buck.
Yeah.
There. You're up to speed. What a wild ride this has been. Lots of conversation on this. The morning mind dump this morning at 7:00, completely committed to going over what we know about the trade that didn't happen, and yet there is a trade that did happen. Tommy, who are the newest people wearing the horns for the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yeah, Usman Jiang is going to be the only one because Nigel Hayes-Davis got waived. So it was really
hoping
fun while it lasted.
Yeah, Wisconsin connection, obviously, for Nigel Hayes-Davis. Only he was just Nigel Hayes back then.
Yeah. Was that like 11 years ago now? Wasn't that the 2015 championship?
Yeah, his first year was 2017, I think.
In the NBA?
I only know that because Brad Davison, I think, played for the Badgers from 2001 to 2017.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not
2013 to 2017, and I think Nigel Hayes played right after that.
Yeah, he was.
I was curious to know if our guy Brad Davison played with him or not. Turns out just missed each other.
No. Nigel Hayes was on the national championship run.
What year did Nigel Hayes play for the Badgers?
Nigel Hayes on the Badgers was, let me see here.
See, the hard part is Brad Davison, I feel like, played a decade. So we're not really sure who his teammates were because it was like, I don't know, the Mount Rushmore Badgers. He played with all of them.
Yeah, he was on the entire team. So looking it up right now, looks like I have 16-17. It looks like that was his senior year. So 16-17 was Nigel Hayes' senior year.
Interesting. And when did Davison play?
When I look right now, he's not on this roster. So
it's
after
17
that,
to 23. So it's a flip. I had him flipped.
yeah, dude, he was taking charges for 20 years in college basketball.
Real good at
I know.
that.
Yeah.
Anything else, Tommy?
I have this one little bit of audio. Would this make you excited, Big Trev?
O'Hara will get it to Reedinger. Looking for his move. He'll call his own number, and he'll knock it down with 0.2 seconds left on the clock.
It's been a dip. Ball in. Three-pointer. Kepler. Oh, my goodness. She banks it in, and the Green Bay Phoenix will win this basketball game on a three-pointer from the sideline.
I had to explain yesterday why we talked so much about the Green Bay Phoenix, so let me do that again for those that are curious.
Good for me. Yeah.
I am here in Green Bay. This is home. This is where the radio show from this end of it comes from, here at WNFL and statewide on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I am heavily involved with Green Bay basketball. I've been a member of their game day staff for 7 years, not anymore because I'm doing this gig now. But I know the guys. I know the coach clearly. Doug Gottlieb joins us every Wednesday at 8 a.m. And I keep my finger on the pulse. Like, that's the team. If you had to pick the 4 teams that I follow closely, UWGB is the team that I follow. No different than you in Milwaukee may follow Marquette. Those listening across the state, big Badgers fans, UW Milwaukee down there for those that love Horizon League and so on, right? I'm a GB guy, and the most insane GB basketball thing happened in the last 24-ish hours. 2 nights ago, you played it first there. Preston Reedinger hits a game-winning buzzer-beater-ish three-pointer to beat Northern Kentucky for the GB men's 87-84. Then yesterday, the UW Green Bay women played and beat Robert Morris. How? You heard it. On a buzzer-beater three-point shot from Cammie Pepler to win. Literally less than 16 hours apart from each other, both teams hit buzzer beaters to win the game.
On the road.
Both on the road.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's my favorite part of those ESPN broadcasts. Those are the ESPN Plus broadcasts of all those are obviously, like, I've done a couple of them working in the Northwoods League. They're on there as well. Those are all home broadcasters. So it's just like, oh my God, she hit it. Like right there.
Yeah.
Like,
great.
They're trying to be as impartial as possible, but you got your bias when you're working for the team or hired by the team. And then it's like, and they're going to win because she hit the shot. Okay.
Great.
Like,
love it. We're off and running on a Friday morning, a little slap happy for a fascinating reason. We'll share the story with you when we come back because, Tommy, I have questions. That's coming up next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas, Josh off today, Tommy Wart's in, and look at you, just wide awake. What's up, Wisconsin? Seahawks or Patriots? Who will win the big game on Sunday? Which prop bet is the one most likely to hit? I've got some money on a few prop bets myself. Find out 9 to noon with John Kuhn, Rami Makloff. They'll have all of their opinions on this weekend's Super Bowl 60 coming up 9 to noon here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. We are inside Wisconsin Sports. That's what we do in the mornings here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wartz in for Josh Albrecht today. We have questions, and some of them revolve around one particular person on this morning's show's sleep patterns. Here we go.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question. Can you fly this plane and land it? Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law fan talk and text line 414-677-1250. If you have questions on this Friday, we have answers. And if not, we'll tell you what we think it is, and then we're just going to move on like it was right.
We have Google.
We have ChatGPT. I have a question, Tommy.
Yeah, what's up, Big Trev?
How was your morning?
Got off to a great start. What
time did it get off to a great start?
It started at 4:50. Like when my alarm went off, and I have text proof that I sent the text at 4:50. Those of you who don't know, I always bring an overnight when I come over here and work the morning show, because Tommy is, if nothing else, self-aware. He knows that playing the game of wake up to an alarm before 5 a.m. is a dangerous game for a young man out here in the radio world.
So we decide to come and sleep at the radio station when you fill in on the morning show, whether it's for me or for Josh. Always. You stay the night before at the radio station.
Yep, I get in usually, 11 midnight or something like that. Maybe that's too late for this show, but that's just, okay. We'll get there. And so, yeah, I was ready to go. I woke up like I did every other time whenever I filled in for this show. That's how the morning started,
That's how it started. Then what?
And then at 5:29, for the fourth time, Trevor called me because I fell asleep with my phone on my chest, on the couch again over here. And Trevor calls me, and I see his face pop up. He's got his beautiful family with him as well. And I'm like, oh, dude, I can play this off, right?
No, you can't.
I'm like, oh, Trev, what's up, man? How's it going? He's like, hey, what, are you alive? I'm like, oh, dude, I'll call you in 1 minute down the line here. And I did all my work the day before that we talked about and discussed.
Yeah, you nailed it.
But the only thing that works better than coffee is being 30 minutes later than you said you were going to be and awake. Except that feeling, we all have had that feeling, Trev. We all know that. We can all relate to you woke up for school or for work, and it's a half hour after, and you're like, oh my God, I got to scramble. I got to go. You know what's the best luxury of that? I was 5 feet away from where I had to work, as opposed to having to drive.
Freaking out.
Yeah, I know. I'll hear it from Sparky. I'm sure that you want to talk about a guy who doesn't get enough sleep. That guy, I'm going to hear it right after.
Yeah, well, I call. Okay, so here's my side of the story.
Yeah,
I get in here every day in Green Bay around 4:45, 4:50-ish. And we usually set up, we get ready, and then we attempt to talk at about 5 a.m. That's when we connect here in Green Bay with Milwaukee, where the audio comes from for the network. Okay. I knew Tommy was sleeping at the radio station, but I feared that because this is what a dad does, man. You'll learn someday. You're not my kid, but you'll learn that when somebody doesn't show up, maybe this is only a me thing. I fear the worst. Oh my God, Tommy, I had all of them going through my head, buddy. All of it. I had you buried and dead. I also had you in the ditch.
Did you have me eloping?
Didn't.
Or anything positive? He must have got an awesome.
That's not how anxiety works,
okay.
buddy.
Okay, sorry.
You don't go positive.
All right.
Like, oh, he stopped to get donuts. That's what it was.
Wow.
He just lost track of time.
Yeah,
No, I know you don't eat donuts right now. I'm just saying,
right.
That's not how that goes in my head.
Yeah, I know. Again, I'm glad. So when I came in, first thing I did.
The story isn't done yet. Hold on. I'm not done. I'm not.
God.
This gets better.
Go ahead.
So I start at 5, knowing, all right, Tommy may have to run to the bathroom or something. So at about 5:20, look at your phone. What time did you get the first phone call? Because I didn't see you, couldn't hear you, didn't know what was going on.
I don't know. I just get the overlapping of which ones it is.
Do you have an iPhone? Click
call
the little
history.
circle on the right. Yeah, there you go.
You didn't call me until 5:20. That was the first
so that's
one.
my mark. Is I should probably start calling him 20 minutes after we said we were going to start talking.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you didn't answer. And I'm like, okay, now what do I do? I believe I called you again.
5:23. Before
I made any other drastic decisions. Nope, I lied. I called Sparky at 5:22.
Okay.
So if Tommy or Josh or whoever in Milwaukee isn't there, we don't go on the radio.
Correct.
The network is just
screwed.
Nothing. Okay. And I just in real time got a text back from Sparky.
Oh, what does it say?
It says, sorry, I never heard the phone vibrate. You okay? What should I say back?
Said, just say butt dial and see if he listens to this part of the
absolutely
show.
Not. So I called Sparky 3 times. I called you 3 or 4 times. I even called the manager of this radio station here at WNFL and woke him up. I'm going, buddy, I don't know what to do. I don't know where Tommy is. I can't get a hold of Sparky. And then you answer.
Yeah.
And the way you answered was exactly the way I would have answered at 25 years old. Oh, hey, man. Hey,
dude,
what's going? Oh, dude, I was just, I was pulling some audio and
no, I did not say I was pulling audio.
You did too.
No. I said I already pulled the audio. Because that was insinuating I was covering for me. I did say I dozed off. I admitted to, that was probably a scary half hour. I was just letting you know that the audio already that we had discussed about yesterday was already done. So typically when we get together at 5:00, we are going over everything and there's the last minute adjustments. I already kind of did the work that we talk about at 5:00 yesterday, which
nailed it.
Doesn't always happen. So again, when
Tommy overslept, what do I say? Tommy.
No, you don't say that because now it's going to be terrifying. You'd be like, "Oh, I thought Tommy overslept." No,
that's not the truth. He can go back and listen to this if he isn't listening already.
But we were on the air at 6:00. That's all. That was exactly what.
So why did I call him 3 times? What am I going to tell him?
Yeah, I feared Tommy wasn't going to make it to work on time.
Okay, all is well. Tommy, what? Tommy did something. Why would I have?
Right. Just say, I feared Tom. I couldn't get a hold of Tommy in the morning. I feared he wasn't going to be on time.
I couldn't.
But he was on time. Was he? Radio time, not to Trevor.
Okay. Well, or Tommy, who said we were going to talk 30 minutes before we did.
Yes. No.
All is well.
Yeah. All is well. Hug XOXO.
Tommy sleepy. There we go.
God.
Straight out of Tommy sleepy.
Why use more word when few word do trick?
All is well. Tommy sleepy. Okay, we'll see what he says back to that.
God.
All right.
That's
any other questions? My question today was, are you okay? It turns out you are. That's it.
I want an excuse to play Jake Bowers, but it's not in the right spot here anyway. So might as well just move on.
We were ready, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
We had all the audio.
We'll have it. We'll have it in the show if we call it back. We have to hit a break anyway again, all of a sudden, because we had to talk about this. This is way better than planned radio.
The Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. Somebody just goes, geez, you had 40 minutes and now you got Tommy in trouble? That's not how this works.
Right.
No, that is not how this works. There's no I had 40 minutes. I had fear is what I had.
Yeah. I'm glad that your first thought was concerned. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
big time concern.
That's I would have the same feeling as well, except if you actually had something happen, they'd be like, yo, you got to go on the air still because no one else is
Exactly.
here. So
Yeah.
you were just
And
going to
I
be
couldn't.
in the constant state of fear. I would have had to power through it the entire time.
I'm waiting for your phone to buzz. No Sparky yet on your end?
I have my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, that was the problem.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, golly. What do you have a most electrifying sound of the day, Thomas?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay. We'll do that next. Whew. I love this. So fun. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Warts, he's in. He's here. For Josh Albrecht today, the most electrifying sound is next. That was nothing about sports. We're killing it, Tommy. Killing it.
Happy Friday. Just saying sorry to you, Trev. I got nothing else. It's a beat drop right here. Get ready for the beat drop.
Nailed it. What's up, Wisconsin? Yeah, okay. Apology accepted. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wirtz in for Josh this morning.
Barely.
A little later, typically, than Josh. But nonetheless, we're here.
All right.
Before we get to the most electrifying sound, I did hear back from Sparky just now, who says, glad all is well. If you wouldn't mind, tell Tommy to just stop by my office after the show.
Really?
I mean, that's then he clicked send. Tell Tommy to be in my office after the show.
Why doesn't he just why doesn't he just text me this? See, no, he's doing this on purpose. This is garbage. The show was on the air and we had plenty of prep time before. I understand I said something and went the other way, but mess with me now. This is garbage.
Wait, just hit that song again. I'm sorry.
I was at the wrong part of the song. Sorry.
All right, time for the most electrifying sound of the day. If you missed it yesterday, there was a bit of an arbitration in the Tigers organization. One Skubal got filed arbitration at $32 million when the Tigers were fighting for $19 million. I was told there would be no math, but that is $13 million difference and absurd.
It's a lot of money.
Has that ever happened before where it is that big of a stretch between where the team thought a player should be and where the player ended up being?
I don't believe so. I mean, 32 million is not a number talked about at arbitration ever. Either. Yeah.
We're over here complaining about 900 grand.
Were we?
I hear that and raise you $13 million.
Yeah.
You know who I think deserves a big payday, though? Your buddy Jake Bowers. Doesn't he have some sort of arbitration case?
Yeah, he had one. I got to talk with Jake on Hot Stove Weekly a couple of nights ago. Go check it out on the YouTube page, youtube.com/@WI Sports Radio. I've just been waiting to use this soundbite on any song, and you'll hear why I get pretty amped up. I don't mean to boost your ego too much here. You got over 1,000 OPS in the postseason, Jake. Do you know that?
Look at him go.
All right, I'm done here. I'll stop glazing, Jake. All right, that's fine.
I did have to prepare for an arbitration case, so yes, I did know that.
Okay, that is awesome. That is a flaw in baseball, man. They got to get rid of that thing. I mean, I'm
going to hold my comments back on all that.
Okay,
cool.
we got you.
You let me know if you need someone in that room with you next year, Jake. I got you.
Restraining orders are out there, so if you need to, I'll help you out. I'll point you in the right direction.
You know, Trev, you've heard the saying, "Don't meet your heroes."
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
How'd that go for you?
Those people are losers who say that. Okay.
Okay, they went well.
Oh yeah, I mean,
what if Jake Bowers was a total jerk? What would you have done?
I would have adjusted my behavior to try to be friends with them, I guess, probably. I just wanted to fit in. I had a feeling that myself was going to be all right during that conversation.
Nailed it.
And he was. But however, you can really tell based on Hot Stove Weekly with the interviews we've had, the Brewers aren't just looking for a specific player in that clubhouse. They're looking for a specific human person in that clubhouse too. Like they are looking for culture and personalities and open, like everyone we've been hooked up with Mike Vassallo has been phenomenal to work with. They've been doing an awesome job. And Hot Stove Weekly, no Tim Allen or me next Wednesday, but it's going to be awesome. The season's doing great, and Jake Bowers was awesome, and he knew his postseason stats were awesome. That was another part. I had to let everyone know. Everyone thinks that I am obsessed. I think I'm just exposing. I'm just like trying to spread the word a little bit.
You're obsessed.
No, I mean, again, like now I'm cool with Jake Bowers. So like, is it worth it? Yeah, totally was.
I was cool with Caleb Durbin until I accidentally shared his cell phone number with the world. Did I tell you that story?
Oh gosh, no. Should you do? Yeah.
Yeah. You think you were sweating after you slept in a bit today?
Yeah.
It gets worse, bud.
Sparky just texted me, come by his office.
Is that what he said?
No, he didn't.
Oh, me?
Yeah, it was a joke for Caleb Durbin, I guess. It was a callback. It's dumb.
Mm.
If we're batting 500, you're in the Hall of Fame, baby. I don't care.
All right, when we come back, the morning mind dump is upon us. And Giannis is still a Milwaukee Buck.
Oof.
There's literally, it's impossible to try to break this down because all of the things that we're going to break down were all BS. But were they all BS? Or were some of it true? Or was Shams making, like, this is the most absurd last, we'll call it 3 months. We'll just start in December, even though earlier in the season it was the same old Giannis future noise. But let's just start this little breakdown when we get back here in December and leave it to yesterday and Giannis posting what he did. Tommy, I asked you, speaking, did you grab that audio?
Yeah, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure we're good. Yeah.
You're going to want to make sure that's edited.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. We got 8-second delay too, if anything else. But yeah, we're good.
Last I checked, that audio needs a little bit more than 8 seconds.
I've been more than 8 seconds late before today, even. So might as well just double check.
Wolf of Wall Street, top 5 movie for me.
I'm gonna. Are we in the trust tree right now at the end of the segment? I don't know if I've seen the full movie. I feel like I've seen.
Did you pause it at some point?
No,
there,
I
Thomas,
probably fell asleep during it. It's a long movie, man. I don't know. I don't think I've seen the full movie.
It's a real good movie.
I've seen the clip and I know what you're talking about.
I don't think we should talk about that.
All right.
Giannis is a Buck. The noise was just noise. Bucks fans, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, how do we feel? Are we? I feel like I have a hangover. I feel like I have a Giannis, Bucks trade, no trade, Shams, Windhorst, ESPN hangover. And I was peak over it. And I know you were too, which I'm excited to hear you talk about because Josh, not over it ever. Mm-hmm. And I was over it. And you apparently are over it. And I think a lot of people were completely over it to the point where it was hard for me to want to keep talking about it.
It was radio draining for sure.
The day after a really bad Packers loss, people will tell me, hey, man, sorry I didn't listen to the show. I didn't want to hear that. I felt like that's where I was getting with this Giannis stuff. Like, if I knew that all of this was going to continue to be spitballed, I don't know that I was going to turn on the radio, just like after a really bad Packers loss. So we got to cover it because it made news, and yet there was no news.
Yeah, that's radio, baby. Confusing. Yeah, we're back. We're back.
We're live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. They are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. How are we doing the day after Giannis is literally nothing's changed? He's still a Buck. He's still got a sore right calf. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. The morning mind up is next, and off and running we go, or limping, I guess. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Tommy Wart's in for Josh. Good morning. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Spill it, Pickett. Spill it.
Black bar. Pittsburgh with the ball down by 4. Mendenhall. Loss of football. Picked up by Bishop.
What a moment in time. Super Bowl 45. Kevin Green to Clay Matthews. Like straight out of the movies.
Yeah.
It is time.
They made a film, an NFL film out of it after. Can I, for 5 seconds, I watched the Rumble last week, and when Cody's music hit, I was like, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Like, that was my, like, because I'm wrestling casual, super. Like, I think I knew there was Cody Rhodes music already, but I had to tell you now that I remembered that. Like an hour, like after you wake up for an hour, you're usually like a little more there, ready to go.
You've been awake for an hour and a half.
Okay.
Come on,
Yeah,
give yourself
yeah.
some credit.
Exactly.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wart's in for Josh this morning. We are live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Poking a little fun at Mr. Wart's this morning, who accidentally overslept, was up at 4:50 a.m. on the couch in the radio station in Milwaukee, and then just happened to death scroll for a little too long.
Yeah, I got cocky. Trevor. That's what it was. I was like, I can do this now. It's never been a problem. Well, it was 5:29 later, right?
Trev, hey. Oh, man.
Trev.
I wish I would have got that on audio recording. Hey, man, I was just, pulling some audio, and I can't even talk about it without giggling like a little schoolgirl. You literally punted on whatever you were trying to tell me right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, man, I was pulling some audio, doing this, I actually totally fell back asleep.
Well, we got there. We're on. No one would have known if we wouldn't have told them. And I was
they're going to know.
Yeah, I understand after Chimichanga, please. Like, I realize if I mess up, the world will hear about it.
Yep.
Yeah, or at least Wisconsin.
They're the greatest things ever. I mean, this story, the Chimichanga Please story, if you don't know about that, I guess text us. If you want us to retell it, we will.
Yeah.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. And text us how you're feeling the day after the trade deadline happened in the NBA. And yet here we are with literally barely anything has changed, specifically with Giannis. Time for the Morning Mind Up.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee has kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
We're awake. The coffee's kicked in. It is time to just get it all out, Thomas.
Oh, man. I'm just never going to beat these. I mean, if I didn't love the Chimichanga story, like this one can overtake it for now, at least.
That's a good one, though. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. The Bucks kept a good one. The problem is, will the noise stop? Many a people say, nope, it is just now on to the next. Where are they going to talk about Giannis being traded to next? The story is dead, and yet somehow it will continue. Why is the story dead about Giannis being traded? Two reasons. One, he didn't get traded. And 2, he put this out on Twitter yesterday.
I'm not leaving.
I don't know.
Wall Street.
I don't know if that second one was a swear or not, but I couldn't tell. So I was like, I'm gonna throw one more beep in there just in case. Like, I think there's like a distant FCC violation in the background. I was like, let's just be safe rather than sorry. It's been a morning.
Oh, now listen, I love when Giannis does stuff like that. When he puts out tweets that hit it square in the face, it's all good. But yet here we sit the day after the trade deadline going, but dude, that wasn't all just noise.
Right.
There was a lot of truth to all the things that came out. And there are so many people throwing Shams under the bus or throwing Windhorst under the bus. Dudes, they're not making this stuff up.
Right.
You know how I know that? Because they still have a job today. So this wasn't all smoke and no fire. This wasn't dry ice just wafting into the air going, gotcha. There was a lot of truth to all of this. And yet Giannis is still a Buck. And so as Bucks fans, as Wisconsin sports fans, how do we process that? How do we process all of the things that we couldn't help but listen to for the last 3, 6, 9 months, but specifically the last 2, 3 months? How do we process that and wake up as a Bucks fan today and go, okay, here we are. So now what, Tommy?
Well, I think that you bring up a good point in there is that there was real truth. It felt like this time going around, and I understand that Shams and Windhorst have a job to do, but at what point are they going to learn, Trev? At what point are they going to be like, all right, well, I need a second source on this information? Because otherwise, you know the game you're playing right now. If you're going to continue to talk about all these trade rumors surrounding Giannis, this, like I said, was not just this season. We have done this for maybe, all of 5 years, maybe a decade. Every single year at some point in the season, it's Giannis wants out. Giannis is demanding. Giannis is saying all this. And then, we have the 2 exclusive interviews that came out. And again, if you still haven't gone and read those, like now they feel even a little more touching, from Jim Ozarski at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and Eric Name of The Athletic. I understand that Giannis, he just doesn't want to be the bad guy. That's what it comes down to. And so he wants, yes, 100%. He wants to be accepted in Milwaukee forever. And I don't know if he fully understood that if he went about this a little bit different of a way, he would. Like, I think every Bucks fan can be, would be more than happy to say they were grateful for the time, or grateful currently for the time with Giannis. He brought a championship here, brought the organization out of irrelevancy. He's an ultimate underdog story, not just from his upbringing, but from the shape he came into in the NBA to the shape he is now. He is the true definition of a hard work pays off, the American dream, you name it. And because he doesn't want to be the bad guy, it was a little damaging this last year, it felt like. And it seemed like the common comparison I heard was it felt like the symbiote took over. And if you're not familiar, that is when Spider-Man turns into Venom. It's the symbiote.
Yeah, it was a heel turn.
Yes.
That's exactly. And Giannis said that in a locker room interview.
I kind of like
being the villain.
Yep.
So to your point, all of this didn't need to be what it was. And yet he seemingly allowed it. And what I said about the article that you brought up in the Journal-Sentinel, we talked about this yesterday here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. That article had nothing to do with basketball.
Right.
That was about a love for a city where a guy who came here as a kid is now a grown man with a family. And unfortunately, the grown man that raised him is buried in Milwaukee. Giannis came out in that article and said that. But that didn't have anything to do with his need to stay a Milwaukee Buck. Yes, I would love to retire of course, I would love to retire from this show. Yeah, that's not how this always works, is it? And so Giannis, instead of saying, no matter what, win, lose, draw, I'm a Buck for life, he said, but I need to win. And that's what left this door open. There's a really good text on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line from the 920 that says, Shams won't get checked by ESPN because they got their clicks. We shouldn't have listened to what came from Giannis the whole time. So there's two sides to this story. One is Shams looks stupid, but we all expected that. Everybody that was in and around this story that was watching how Shams was reporting going, I can't wait for all of this to land on NBA trade deadline day and still have Giannis be a Buck. Because then Shams has got to go, oh, I was wrong. Or instead, did Shams go out yesterday and go, guys, I was being told these things. We were led to believe this was going to happen. Actual trade offers were being made. You know how we know that? Because the Bucks came out and said, nope, we're actually going to keep him. So we have to remember that in all of this. Is he still a Buck? Yes. Is that going to be a lifetime thing? I don't know. Who knows? But maybe we learn a lesson here, Tommy, and go, oh, we should just wait a little bit before we make drastic decisions, myself included, by the way.
Yeah. Did you? And Doc Rivers yesterday, he had jokes about the situation.
You guys want a Giannis update? All right. Okay. Oh, no, I was just talking about, he's going to coach the celebrity game, right? You guys see that? No, he did inform me that he's going to put Shams on the trading block today, and he's just going to listen to offers. So I'm just going to go make that announcement right now.
I mean,
it's humor. It's straight laugh factory.
Like, listen, Doc, like, I get it. That was a good taste of the joke. I know you saw it on Twitter. You didn't come up with it yourself. But like, you're kind of dead man walking right now. It feels like right now, like, let's cut the jokes. It was funny. It was good. I'm just like, you have way more confidence than I do, Doc Rivers, at least, to say that joke at that time. Because again, as a fan, I love the troll from Doc. As a fan, I love Giannis tweeting out a Wolf of Wall Street clip. But if I was in the, like, it was all kind of BS a little bit. It's all BS to hate on him that much.
The 262 on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250, says, Trev, for weeks, you said they were trading him. Yeah, I was. I did say 4 weeks that I thought Giannis was going to be traded. And as a matter of fact, I went on the record saying, I'm over it. Trade him. Because I was over it. Trade him. And frankly, I may still very well be over it. And unless they do something to really build around him, then trade him. But at the same token, how many times are we going to give up the farm, literally, in order to keep Giannis and make a run for it when, and if you're a Bucks fan, you have to admit this, the dude is injury prone. It is what it is.
Yeah. He was healthy last year in the postseason, but Dame wasn't. And, he hasn't been healthy in the postseason a lot since the finals. And even the finals run, like, very famously, Chris Middleton had to keep them afloat. Like, when Giannis was not able to, when his knee gets hyperextended and everyone thinks it's over right there. But he only missed a couple of, a little bit. Look, Trev, I went through a roller coaster with this Giannis stuff because obviously when you have a player who is a bona fide top 5 player in the league, I don't think that's a debate. Why would you get rid of him? We just saw a year ago a guy named Luka Doncic get traded. And if you would have told Mavs fans a year ago, hey, you're going to lose Luka, but you get Cooper Flag and Chris Middleton, they would have been like, absolutely not. Even regardless.
In this scenario, the reason you would contemplate getting rid of him is because sometimes players make it about themselves and not the team. And that's absolutely what it felt like this was becoming. It felt like Giannis, heel turn villain, booing the fans, was setting himself up to be bigger than the franchise itself. And anytime you see an A player do that in any line of work, the end is near for that person. It happens in football. It happens in basketball. It happens in real life, white collar, blue collar jobs. If you make yourself bigger than the organization, it doesn't last long.
Are we allowed? Okay, let me try to phrase this. Were you allowed to admit Giannis is bigger than the franchise?
Am I allowed to admit that Giannis is bigger than the franchise?
The state of irrelevancy that feels like the Bucks would fall in if they didn't have Giannis, based on the roster, at least this year that's constructed. Like, who's the next highest selling jersey if Giannis isn't on the team?
Well, okay. So to that point, actually, amazing timing on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line from the 414. Guys, the issue here is that it's affecting attendance, and it's also affecting season ticket renewal. The Bucks won't talk about it, but I know for a fact that there's a large list of individuals that are not going to be renewing their season tickets because they don't know if Giannis is going to be on the team next year. So yes, Giannis is absolutely the face of the franchise and as big and important to the Bucks as one could be. And even then, when all of this starts to really go south, the Bucks need to make some decisions on what the future looks like for them too, instead of completely letting a match and imploding every time this stuff comes up because, quote, we have to rebuild around Giannis.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And to that point on the talking text line, Trev, do you know where the Bucks rank in attendance in the NBA?
I don't.
29th, second last.
No matter what, though. This year or in general?
This year.
Because of all this?
Well, just for reference, let me go to 2024, right? Just a few years ago. The Bucks were not on the list. I have no idea where it says right there. They're just not. They were 16th, so they're middle of the road 2 years ago.
So this has to affect that, to this person's point. There's just no way to get around it.
Even last year, they were 17th, 2025. I didn't know how far back I had to go to get to a relevant number, but yeah, I mean, they're 29th in attendance. Absolutely is taking an impact, and his injuries have been too, right? I mean, again, go see this team without Giannis on it, and you're buying a Kuzma jersey, and I don't think anyone wants that. So I understand why there is frustration in the fan base, and it's showing with the attendance. Yes.
And so I guess the saga continues? Question mark? At the end of the day, these reports weren't all BS. This wasn't all a sham, for lack of better terms.
Nice.
This was real stuff. The Bucks were listening. Giannis was, for lack of better terms, on the block. And it just didn't come to fruition. So when Giannis puts out the tweet yesterday that says he's not going anywhere, hashtag Wolf of Wall Street, he's right. He's not. But that doesn't mean he wasn't close. And with all of the noise and all of the news and all of the reporting and all of the stories and quotes and Giannis wants to be a Buck for life and blah, 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 blah. Here we sit in the exact same spot we were 2 days ago.
Someone didn't bring it up. Season tickets went up 50%. Yeah, that's also a problem too. Especially
that
for
doesn't
that
help.
For that
But why?
Team.
Why did season tickets go up 50%?
Because they got a guy named Giannis.
Almost as if it's connected. When we come back, Brad Davison from the Wisconsin Badgers joins us. He's the assistant to the associate of the head coach, player personnel, whatever he is. Badger icon.
That's
is
a
what he
crazy
is.
title.
He doesn't. I'm going to ask him. Hey, bud, do you know your title? Every time we have him on, we talk to him about this. Brad Davison next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Tommy today.
The best 8-man rotation consists of 6 seniors, so very experienced here. Davison squares and connects.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wartz in for Josh today. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Friend of the program. I think that's how you say it, right? Friend of the program. Brad Davison, Wisconsin
That
Badgers.
works for me. Good morning, everybody.
I like that title better than whatever the heck we're supposed to say that is your title. We talk about this every time. Tommy Wartz, by the way, Brad Davison, Tommy Wartz.
Nice to meet you, Brad.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I have just as many titles as you do on the Wisconsin athletic basketball team, just over in Radio Land. Can you say it for me once? Because I haven't heard it yet.
I am the special assistant to the head coach. And you can
What is
fill in
your
the blanks
role, though,
there.
on the team? Honestly though, what does that mean to you with your gig at Wisconsin basketball? Because it's not, we joke, we poke fun, blah, blah, blah. But what's your role, man? What is the job that you do with Wisconsin hoops?
Yeah, my first day on the job, I had a meeting with Coach Gard, and it was really just he gave me a blank canvas in terms of he wanted me to be involved in everything and just kind of get a taste of everything that we do. Obviously, I had a pretty good idea being there for 5 years as a player, but then to be on the other side of it, even more so on the inside of just all the things that we do, just finding my niche and finding ways to add value. And now that role has evolved as the season's gone, and really enjoy what I get to do on a day-to-day basis, especially on the court. I'm on the court a lot with guys in terms of individual workouts outside of practice, getting shots up, getting prepared for games. During practice, I'm on the scout team, getting to play and compete against the rotation guys, but also have become really involved in our scouting reports and kind of like our advanced scouting of trying to know the tendencies and the sets and the rhythms and what the other team's offense is looking for, so we can come up with a defensive game plan to do our best of containing them. So I kind of, as it's morphed, I kind of got to be in charge of the scout team and see how many points we can score on the rotation guys during practice in a player coach role. Sometimes I'm out of breath as I'm trying to draw up the plays after running up and down a few times. And then off the court, I've gotten the chance to be really involved on the recruiting side, whether that's high school or whether that's overseas and this new agency world that we're in. I'm in a unique spot and where I didn't play too long ago. And all the agents and in the professional basketball world, I have relationships with all those people. So, just utilizing my experience and where I've been from a recruiting side. And then pretty much everything else in between. So I'm just enjoying it, try to be a sponge every day and try to find ways to add value.
We got to change your title. You're the horse. You're just the horse. That's the better way to put it. Like whatever's needed, just throw it on your back and you'll get you there, right? So is this basketball play on it, and it's what your work is actually. So that's what he's the horse of Inside.
There you go. You guys can introduce me however you want. Horse will
Challenge
work.
accepted.
Yeah. Well, Brad, the Badgers right now, big game against Indiana this weekend. You have since January 7-2, one of those being to Purdue. Fine, very competitive team. USC, we can move past it. It's fine. But you guys really found some stride, it feels like, with the turn of the new year. Anything change in that clubhouse? Anything change in that locker room that you feel like maybe something just clicked with some of the guys on the team, or you feel like you've been here all year, we've just been waiting to see it? What's been going on since the new year?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think first of all, this is a really new team. We have 3 guys from last year, and then you bring in some new freshmen from the United States, freshmen from all over the world. You bring in transfers from a few different schools, and what you're doing is you're trying to put all those puzzle pieces together. And I think it took us a little longer than we wanted to, but now we got a pretty good picture in terms of we like the pieces that we have. I feel like we're a much more connected bunch, and when we step on that floor, there's an edge and a fight to us that I don't know if we had as much earlier in the year. So we really love where we're at now. And, when you're connected and you have an edge and you're moving as one out there, you play better defense and you make more shots and then you get into a rhythm and you build more confidence. And we always say once you win 1 game, 2 games, 3 games in a row, then it becomes a habit and you get a taste of winning, of the routines and the ability to be prepared and what it takes to be on the right side of that scoreboard when the clock hits 0, and it becomes a habit. And so we got on a little hot streak there. Yeah, we fumbled one, but now our goal is to get back and win a 3rd one in a row to build that habit again.
Brad Davison, Wisconsin Badgers, joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Brad, you talked about how there's 3 dudes back from last year's team, which takes a hot second to figure out how to play together in actual game play. That's way different than when you played. How do the guys do that? How do they, get themselves in that mindset where, all right, like this is the way it's going to be this year? It's almost like professional sports.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a European sports professional model, really, where guys are kind of operating on a 1-year basis, to say the least, just because of the transfer portal rules. And so the way it is you don't necessarily look at it as you have 4 years with the guys in the locker room. No, you have 1 year with the people sitting next to you and the people filling that room. So you got to maximize every moment. And you can't waste a game. You can't waste an opportunity because the days are numbered. And I think you had that a little bit when I was playing, but it might have been 1 or 2 guys, or maybe 1 transfer, a couple new freshmen. But obviously, with the rule changes, it's a little different now. And I think it just makes you have to be even more intentional about developing relationships and building that well in the bridge between you and your teammates. But also, there's got to be a sense of urgency that each and every day you're painting a picture for yourself and for our team and for our program of continuing to move forward into the future.
So, Brad, as someone who was playing recent enough and then had a little, taste of the NIL transfer portal era as a player, how different is it when you see it from the coach perspective then too? Because it looks like chaos from the outside, and I imagine working in it feels like chaos. But so far in this era, Wisconsin basketball has been flourishing a whole lot better than the football team. At least it feels like, Brad.
Yeah, well, my taste of NIL is I did an interview, or I did a commercial at Tanner's Sports Bar. They gave me a $1,000 gift card, and what the commercial was is I brought 10 of our managers to the bar. They put beers, pizzas, and burgers in front of us on a table and just recorded us, just filmed us eating and drinking and celebrating and watching games, and then that became the commercial. And I got a $1,000 gift card. That night I brought the managers back to the bar, and we pretty much maxed out the $1,000 gift card. And I thought I was the man. I thought I had made it. You couldn't tell me nothing. $1,000 gift card. Obviously, that taste is a little different than what everyone's experiencing now. But with that being said, it is different. It is different in terms of there's a lot more things that these kids are dealing with and a lot more things as coaches we're dealing with. But the thing that I love, and one thing I think I was a little hesitant and worried about coming back, is how different it would be. But you know what? We come to that locker room and we play a game, and after the game, coach coaches them the same way. They go celebrate in the same places after a win. They come in the next morning and we watch film, and coach does a lot of the same things he did when we were there. Then we go to practice, we do a lot of the same things, and coach holds them accountable. And then we prepare the same way for the next game. And we have a great group of guys that really value winning, and they really enjoy being around each other, and they love being at the University of Wisconsin. And as much as the back of the name on the back of the jersey is important, they really value what's on the front of the jersey too. And again, that's a battle that you fight every day to make sure you prioritize, but you can do it when you're intentional and you prioritize getting the right people and people that really want to be here. So as much as it is different, there's a lot of things that are still similar. And to me, that gives me all the warm fuzzies, because I think that's what it's all about.
Where's Nolan Winter's gift card? Where's that?
Yeah, I know. We got to get him a commercial, so take me out to dinner.
Right.
That's awesome. Brad Davison, assistant coach, Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball. In an era where players in college are being paid like professional athletes, my question is, are they being fined like professional athletes? Tommy and I are going to have a conversation when we're done chatting with you about what if there were fines in your workplace? Like here at the radio station. Leave my damn headphones alone. I will find you and I will fine you. Leave my stuff, like, get out of me. What should be finable? What should be a finable offense within Badgers basketball?
Well, we do not have any finable offenses. I know quite a few guys get parking tickets just about every day at the Kohl Center because they're parking in 2-hour slots, and coach goes a little longer in practice.
There's Tuesdays you can park here, Wednesdays you can park
And you know
there.
what?
I lived it. I lived it.
Yeah, parking on campus is a little bit of a zoo and a challenge at times. So we don't have any fines, but guys do get fined from our transportation services. I guess that's the closest thing you get from a fine from our program. That's a good call. I mean, I think if Coach Gard had it his way, maybe $100 for a turnover or for a bad foul, or those little things that we value and talk about a lot that win and lose games, that could get him. But that's an interesting concept again because it is turning into professional sports in a lot of ways, and
it stems from Colorado and Dion. Did you see this, Brad? Did you see that?
I did. I read a little bit about it just in terms of, showing up late or grades or not practicing hard or not wearing the right thing. Those are all things, again, when you're playing overseas, and it's all built into your contract. If you show up late or, there's actions have consequences or lack of actions have consequences. Now, we have not got to that. We have not got to that.
It would be really great if we find the basketball players to help fund the football program. Like, where's the money go, guys?
No.
Right to Coach Fickle, actually. Right to the football guys.
Brad doesn't want to hear that.
No,
Brad,
he
he want to hear that.
Just pay your parking toll and you're good.
Yeah, good point.
All right, let's talk Indiana, man. You are in there now, getting ready for the game. Are you there now?
No, we'll practice this morning and then we'll head out.
All right, so talk to us about how big of a game this is and the role that you guys seem to be on here towards the end of the season.
Oh, it's an awesome opportunity for us. Actually going to play in Assembly Hall it's one of my favorite arenas in the Big Ten. So I think it's always a special game and opportunity when you get to go there. They've been playing really well recently. They beat Rutgers, they beat Purdue at home. They went on the West Coast and beat a good UCLA team in double overtime, and then just came up short against USC. But they've been playing really well. They really rely heavily on three-point shooting, even more so than we do. They really love to get them up, and they have a lot of good shooters that can space the floor, and they really put your defense in a bind just because of the amount of space that they create, having so many shooters on the floor and their willingness to take and make tough shots from distance. So that'll be a unique challenge for us, a little different than what we've seen the last couple of days. But also we're coming off a week off, which has been really nice for us. We had a couple off days, got some people healthy, got our legs back. I think the guys are just ready to go out there eager to compete. And, we have a really, really fun stretch coming up. And that's why you come to the University of Wisconsin. And that's why you come and play in our program, is because you want to have not just the chance to play in the Big Ten, but to win. To be the top team in the Big Ten. And we've earned that right now with the stretch we've had. We've put ourselves in position that every game now you're playing for a Big Ten championship. That's the sense of urgency and the level of intentionality that you need. And when you get to go on the road and play against good teams, even better. Stack the chips up and let's go play.
Well, and you bring it up, Brad, that to have that chance at a Big Ten championship, it feels like this year, maybe more so in years past, like that would carry a lot of weight. This conference is stacked this year. You guys have had some big wins over, Michigan in this year. And you've been competitive against a lot of other ones. You got another one also coming up next week against Illinois during this, Michigan State too. Like, just talk about that and how good it is maybe for your program to be as competitive as it is right now in this very stacked conference that everyone was talking about the SEC last year in basketball. Hell, the Big Ten's pretty damn good too, Brad.
Oh, yeah. Big Ten's always been good, and it's going to continue to be at the tip top of the premier of college basketball. So many good coaches, good universities, programs that do things the right way. So that's what makes it so much fun. And, I think the reality is we have a standard of our program that we want to hit each and every year. And the goal is to continue to push that standard and push that envelope. And that's who we are, and what we do is we want to compete at the tip top of the Big Ten and compete for championships and make runs in March. So we put ourselves in a good position. We love love the team that we have. Obviously, we're led by two really, really talented lead guards and a lot of great pieces around them that, have really found ways to add value. And it seems like we kind of have a new guy step up and either make some shots or make some winning plays outside of JB and Nick and Nolan. So it's been awesome. We really, really appreciate the effort that the guys have shown, and we really have enjoyed the not only quality of players but people that we have in the locker room. And that's what you want, and that's what you need to make runs at things in March.
Wisconsin Badgers assistant coach Brad Davison joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. By the way, there's no NIL deal here. There's no spot. I'm going to try to. I'll send you a $20 gift card to Tanner's Sports Bar and Grill.
We just got you a new title. Yeah, we just got you a new title. What do you mean, horse? No one was calling you that before us.
Professional bartender, apparently.
Yeah, and bar spender on gift cards.
Perfect. We can whatever gift card you send, we can max out together. So you pick the number.
Yeah. Spot here in Green Bay. Next time you're up here for a Packer game, we'll do that. All right, brother. Good to see you. Thanks as always for jumping on with us and chatting a little bit of Badgers. We'll hopefully maybe talk to you next week. We don't want to ask too often, but if you're cool with it, we'll keep asking.
This is where I am. This is where I'm at every morning getting some work done. So it's all good.
We dig it. All right, buddy. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Brad Davison, Wisconsin Badgers men's basketball, joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. All right, so if you're going to get fined at work, like what's a finable offense at work? We actually meant to talk about this yesterday, and then shocker, more Bucks news popped, and we had to talk about that instead. So today, if you can fine your coworkers for the dumb stuff they do at work, what would it be, and how much would you charge them? Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Tommy Ward's in for Josh today, live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you missed our chat yesterday with Ron Wolf, former Packers general manager and Pro Football Hall of Famer and proud dad this weekend of New England Patriots GM Elliott Wolf, he joined us yesterday on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Make sure to go and find it on the podcast platforms. You can do so. Open up your favorite podcast platform, type in Inside Wisconsin Sports. You can find it at wisportsradio.com as well. Packers GM of old and Pro Football Hall of Famer Ron Wolf joined us yesterday. Go find that wherever you get your latest podcasts.
It was awesome.
Yeah, we appreciated that. It was really cool to talk to him. He's really well-spoken at the ripe old age of 87 years old. I can only imagine what it's going to be like for him to watch his boy and his team this weekend in the Super Bowl, Patriots Seahawks, Super Bowl 60. We'll chat with John Kuhn about that Super Bowl coming up later when we cross over with 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. That's at about 8:45. But now, if you could find your coworkers for the dumb stuff they do in the office or on the job site, what would it be? Tommy, you go first.
Ooh, all right. Well, I'm pretty anti-email. And I understand why people email, and I understand why there are work communications for CYA reasons. I get it. But if it's important enough and you only contact me through one communication source, I understand. Like, it's a little bit on that person too. Trevor called me 3 times this morning.
I was going to say, some try the phone.
Right. Like, I would much rather have some sort of communication outlet that is do as many as possible if it's important enough. And if you only send it via one of those, I think it's a little less important. And not to sound like, oh, I have so many messages coming in all the time, but I have too many messages coming in for you to like just bank on one of them being the way to come through now here.
The 920 on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Finable offenses in the workplace. My buddy should have fined the guy he hired to milk his cows for bowling night on Wednesday. He came and milked them, but he didn't put the plug in the tank. So he lost all of his milk, and he still had to pay the idiot. Perfect. 920 says, I would fine people $50 for not replacing the toilet paper in the bathroom. The big one for me is listen, this morning radio stuff requires coffee. If you take the last coffee and don't brew more, specifically before 9 a.m., you should be fined. You should be fined. Ooh, a pro wrestler chiming in. Look at this, Tommy. The 414. Hi, pro wrestler here. Lots of finable offenses in that line of work. Dropping the microphone, people who do the same thing every match, referees who overact, not having a locker room, you should find that. My big one, though, is anyone that does a splash in the corner should be fined the maximum amount. That move looks terrible unless you're 300 pounds.
Yeah, we have a caller here, Doc, driving around in Manitowoc on Nicolay Law Talking text line. Doc, you got a fine for your coworkers at work?
Yeah, I got a hard time picking which one I want to fine them and how much I want to do it for. We'll just do some easy ones. I'll kind of give you the Reader's Digest. So I'm basically Bergstrom's auto delivery guy, and I'm at the mercy of the dock loading my trailer. Another driver brings it to me. So I have no control over how the trailer looks when I get it. And I have like 3 dealerships that are kind of close together for BMW, and I always look at finding another box that goes to another dealership on the spot that I'm at. So I would find them like $5 for every time, like if I had a box in the wrong pallet that needs to go somewhere, and then the $20, and they make like $20 an hour. So I'm going to make it hurt in their wallet for a little bit, and I would find them like $20 if he doesn't put a little stretch wrap around a bunch of boxes on a pallet.
Yeah.
Because when they're outside on a liftgate and the wind starts picking up, they act like kind of like sails. So it's a little bit ridiculous to be at the mercy of somebody. I could find them jokers all day.
All day.
Find them.
There
Thanks,
it is.
Doc. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Doc.
the buzz, man.
My
That's what it's all about.
My favorite one here. I think it was 414. I would fine my coworker for showing up to work.
Wow. Are they on time? Just curious.
Luckily, I'm fine with all the coworkers here, and I wouldn't think that. But we've all had that coworker before in the past where it's like, you know what? If you didn't show up today, it might be a better day at work.
Well, some of us want our coworkers to show up, to be honest.
Yeah.
On time would be great.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've never filled in for every single person here. Yeah, let's start shooting shots if we're going to do that.
Shoot your shot.
Like, we can do that. We can play that game, Big Trev.
Hey, this is kind of gross, but this is the truth, man. The 920 says we need to find people for not flushing the toilet, or if you had a bad morning, we'll just put it that way, just take care of it. Good God. That happens in the workplace more often than I ever thought it would. Specifically public bathrooms, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have some problems, bud, just pick up after yourself. Don't pick up. That's a fightable offense.
If you pick it up, it's a fine.
Don't pick it. Yeah, don't touch anything. Just clean it. For the love of God. Take him in a van. Like office linebacker Terry Tate said, you kill the Joe, you make some more. What?
That's coffee reference. Joe.
Got it.
Cup of Joe.
That Joe. I was like, why are we killing people? We're just trying to find people. He capitalized Joe, which was the problem for me.
Oh, yeah. It's
and
not.
I think Cup of Joe is J-O, not J-O-E.
Well, it's not a proper noun. That's for sure.
Jacob. When we come back, let's talk more Brewers. Tim Allen, the franchise himself, joins us. We thought he was in Vegas. He's not. But I got to be honest, I kind of wish he was. You imagine Tim Allen joining us from Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah. He's going to watch the big game this weekend. That's why he's going.
We'll talk to him about that, the bets he's got on the game, maybe a couple prop bets, and what his thoughts are on spring training beginning on Tuesday for the Milwaukee Brewers. Pitchers and catchers, less than a week. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Tommy Wirtz today, in for Josh. Stay here.
Tommy Wirtz here, filling in for Josh Albrecht. Time for your fan weather report, brought to you by Habish and Rotier. Currently 32 degrees, 12 miles an hour winds, high of 35 today with a low of 8. 35% chance of precipitation in the Milwaukee area around 2 o'clock. Thanks to Habish and Rotier for your fan weather report.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Tommy Wirtz, that was 15 years ago today. Super Bowl 45, the last of the 4 trophies we have in the trophy case in the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame here in Green Bay. Jordy Nelson with the TD, the call from Super Bowl 45. We played earlier the Clay Matthews piece and Kevin Green, and earlier the final call to open the show from Joe Buck. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wirtz in for Josh today. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It does not feel like 15 years ago that they had their last Super Bowl, not only victory, but last Super Bowl appearance, too.
Yeah, I mean, it was 5th grade. I remember it.
Ah, yeah. The middle elementary years. Let's talk some baseball, shall we? Pitchers and catchers, I believe, report on Tuesday, which means we're a mere days away from Milwaukee Brewers baseball being back in our lives, and it couldn't come soon enough. Who better to chat with than the franchise himself, the one and only Tim Allen, joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. What's up, Tim?
Morning, boys. Trevor, I do want to add in that the Packers are halfway to the Cowboys. Not getting the Super Bowl.
There's that. Well, when you put it that way, it doesn't seem so bad, does it?
No, not at all. No.
So, Timmy, we weren't sure if we were going to have you today because you are Las Vegas bound for the Super Bowl. Tell us about that.
Been doing that, a little over a decade now. Just got into the habit. I attended a Super Bowl in Vegas, being in Vegas for the Super Bowl. First one was back in 93 to 94 season. That was the San Francisco 49ers and San Diego Chargers. And Niners, just a big favorite in that one, 16 or 17 points. I went all in. It was Super Bowl Sunday. I had like $36 left for the trip. I'm flying out on a red eye after the game that night.
Nice to know that we have the same all-in definition in our mind. Yes.
So throughout the weekend, I had placed a bunch of wagers, and it was just all in on the Niners. And by the end of that game, looking at all my tickets, and I need to call the airline and stay another night. So it bought me another night. I had the first TD of the game with Jerry Rice, and I was living large. However, in that Super Bowl game, toward the end, the Chargers were driving to cut into that spread and just nip it. And thankfully it didn't work out. So anyway, I skipped a bunch of years, and now the last, I believe it's 12. In the last 12 years, the only time I've not gone to Vegas for the Super Bowl was when the Super Bowl was actually in Las Vegas, because I didn't want to go through that madhouse.
Well, I was going to ask about that already, though. Like, is it not already kind of like a premier weekend to go? I would think of that and like first week of March Madness just being
you'd be
crazy.
surprised, Tommy. You'd be surprised. It's not. I mean, Sunday it's congested. A lot of testosterone in the city, but come Sunday night and Monday morning, that's why I booked the trip from Saturday to Wednesday or Thursday, because the city just opens up wide after the Super Bowl. I would recommend that. Get in there on a Saturday, enjoy the festivities, like Tommy said, and it's there's a lot of things to do. Then when the game is done, stay for the next 3 days or so, because it's carte blanche. You got the whole city to yourself. No lines anywhere.
Interesting. I would have never, I guess, put that together, that everybody bolts and that's it.
Yeah, it just empties out.
Tim Allen, Inside Wisconsin Sports, talking Brewers now, because Tuesday is an important day where pitchers and catchers report in Arizona, and we are finally no longer without the Milwaukee Brewers baseball season, Tim.
No, it's upon us, and now we start thinking about who's going to make a roster. Are there cuts? Who's having a good spring? Who is really got a fast track on? Are we going to see Jet Williams? There's a lot of storylines here. Who's going to be in that rotation? That's a biggie. Tommy and I talked about that on Hot Stove Weekly on Wednesday. There are some battles in that rotation spot. And again, Murph's going to downplay that. We all know Pat Murphy. He will downplay that. And I sort of have a thumbnail sketch, but we'll see what happens. They sort of know. They know who they want in the rotation. Whether or not that particular pitcher is going to take it or not, we'll find out. Brandon Sproat, for example. Is he a shoo-in for the rotation? I'm not convinced of it. Is Chad Patrick a shoo-in? Not convinced. Logan Henderson, not convinced. Angel Serpa, is he going to be in that rotation? Not convinced. A lot of battles in there. What you're missing, though, gentlemen, is a strong veteran presence in that rotation. That one is I'm a little iffy on that part of it. Now, we haven't fired up the 26 championship season yet, and we all saw what happened in March of last year. In walks Jose Quintana. They may pick up a veteran. It's not going to surprise me at all.
Right. Tim Allen joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Lucky enough, get to talk to him every Wednesday, 5 to 7. Make sure you guys are checking out Hot Stove Weekly. Most recent episode with Jake Bowers and Logan Henderson up on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Tim, we talked about this, like you said, and I want to go back. You're saying the lack of that veteran presence. Is that something that Freddie Peralta couldn't have even done for this team? And you're saying specifically a guy like Quintana, or when they brought in a Miley, something along those lines you're looking for? Because Woodruff, health pending, I feel like that's why they moved on from Freddie, because they did believe he could be that type of guy in the rotation.
But we're used to, Tommy, we're used to multiples in there.
Yeah.
We're used to the Burns, Woody, Freddie. For a minute there, Freddie was your 3 guy. You talk about the success, Trevor, you alluded to it, about the success of, the Brewers over the past decade or so. That was a big part of it. Those big 3 starting in 18, that 19, 20, 21, 22 run, that all was that 1, 2, 3 punch. And I remember at that time on the post-game show just repeating, nobody in baseball had a 1, 2, 3 punch like that. Nobody. You talk about pitching and defense wins. That's how they were winning there. Now, you did have some, slug and thump come in 18 with Yelich and Grandal and Moustakas, and all these guys got together a little bit. But, you win with pitching. You hold the other guys off the board. It is like scoring runs, and I'm not making excuses for an offense. But that really is legitimately the case. If you make a great defensive play to save a 2-run double, that's like scoring 2 runs. It really is. And that it just concerns me, the youth of this rotation. That's probably the biggest concern I have.
Tim Allen, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Tim, when we chatted on Monday, you talked about a big splash, and it's coming. So what's your bet on where this splash will occur?
They're looking where they look, Trevor, is where I look too. I mean, I go into whether it's Under Armour or Nike or whatever brand. The first thing I do is I go to the budget bin, the bargain rack. I mean, that's wouldn't you? Don't we all do that?
You there.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with spending as little money as you can for anything you buy. You can call that cheap if you want. I don't care. My girlfriend is always, stop being cheap. And I'm like, wait I'm not being cheap. I'm just trying not to give away a bunch of money. That's kind of where the Brewers have to do it late. That's the way they did it with Quintana. I mean, what'd they bring him in?
$4 million, right? Yeah.
5 million ish, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a 1 year, $4 million, I believe, for Quintana. Yeah. I mean, like it was a bargain in the moment, Tim. Like we already knew, like, how did no one bring this guy in for $4 million?
Was splashy.
Yes.
And by definition, that kind of was splashy. I mean, think of all those games that Quintana really shut the Brewers off. I mean, there were so many games in whatever uniform. Cubs, Mets, people forget. He pitched in that series for the Mets when Alonso hit that home run.
Yep.
And people forget that was Jose Quintana. So he did some damage against the Brewers. I remember celebrating. I was in the booth at American Family Fields of Phoenix when that deal went down, and I was just fist pumping. Maybe a similar deal in a name like that, some veteran presence in that rotation. We saw what happened to the rotation last year. Devastated by injuries. It just was. And now, do they have strength in numbers? Yes. But they're all young dudes, Gassers and Hendersons and Patricks. Again, that splash is probably coming in terms of a veteran. Hell, I don't even know if Quintana signed anywhere. Did he?
I didn't see a name pop up anywhere. No.
It may be him.
Bring him back.
It could be.
I think people
is that
would be
a
down.
Splash though, or is that like a pebble in a pond?
Yeah, that would be up to interpretation. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
I mean, in Brewers land, like we're by the lake. We're not by the ocean like the Dodgers. I mean, a pebble is a lot bigger in the lake than it is in the ocean, Trevor.
Decent sized lake.
Yeah. Well, I was trying there. We're still getting used to analogies on radio shows here. But anyway, Tim, we were talking about Quintana, and you're forgetting to mention also, like, just the impact he has being in a room with all the young guys too, right?
And along with Woody, yes.
And we saw it last year. A lot of credit went out to Quintana with guys like Jacob Mizorowski and Chad Patrick bringing his name up in conversation last year. So I completely understand why the Brewers wouldn't think that $4 million would be a bad investment to have a guy go in there to try to help develop some of these guys down the way. Just be a big leaguer at the end of the day, if that's what helps too. Tim, let's talk about the offensive side because pitching has been just the whole storyline of the offseason, because the Brewers haven't done a whole lot bringing in any bats or bringing in any guys that would be any splash. It feels like the team is going to be roughly the same out in the infield and the outfield. Do you disagree with that, or it's going to be most of these same guys in your mind, Tim?
I think it's the same. It's the same guys. And who didn't like that brand of baseball the last year? I mean, wow, just get on base, moving runners. And yeah, some would say that there needs to be a little more barrel. And if I'm not just talking home runs, but just a few more hard hit rate rises, if you will. I could see that out of Frelick. Sal Frelick, my guy. He tends to get on base, but a lot of them are those infield singles. That's just the brand of baseball the Brewers do. Let's steal a base. Let's go double steal. Let's do a steal and stop. Let's get a sack. Let's get a ball in play. We'll take the run right here, give up the out. All of those things. Just gap hitters. Hit one down the line. How many times did we see that? Just Jeff Levering just going crazy, 2 on, 2 out, and someone scalds one down the line. It's a beautiful thing. There's going to be organic growth out of some of these young offensive players. We have not seen, and this one might be flying under the radar. And I know it sounds funny thinking Jackson Churio is flying under the radar. That dude, we have yet to see what he is. He's good. We all get that. Just look out. I mean,
is his hammy good?
Well, and that's the thing. Stay healthy and get all that. I mean, hamstrings are so just they're a battle in itself, and I feel bad for any ball player that is suffering from a hamstring. Is it a grade 1, grade 2? Is it grade 3? Is it full shutdown? Is it what is it? Can you go? Can you work out? Do we put him on the injury list? So we'll see. But man, we're going to see Jackson. We thought we saw him blossom a little bit. Just wait. How about Bryce Durang? Is he Bryce Durang from those numbers last year, the quantum leap?
Well, and there's quantum leaps that you can go all the way up and down this lineup, Tim. Like, I think that's what the Brewers are banking on a little bit, just the natural progression of a ball player. But thinking about it, I would assume Jackson Churio, his numbers improve if he's healthier, right? If he plays more games, he's going to hit more homers. William Contreras last year playing with a broken hand for most of the season,
and
right?
Look at the numbers.
Yes. I think that Garrett Mitchell coming back hopefully adds a little thump to this team. Maybe
I'm not giving up on him.
Can't bank on it for sure, but there is something to be said about the team. I don't know how Joey Ortiz could play worse, so he's got to be better, right? And then
Ortiz and Durbin, that left side, I guess if you were to point to some form of focus offensively, we all know defensively, Durbin actually did way better than I thought he would defensively at third base. So, but defensively, we know they're covered. But offensively, oh boy, Ortiz, you're right. Ortiz has got to pick it up.
It's going to be better. It can't, like I'm saying, I don't mean that to be, because he is a wizard in the field. That's why he plays every day, Tim. Right? I mean, he's great shortstop defensively. It's just the bat's got to be there, and the leash could be short too.
Yeah, I feel for the kid. I do. Absolutely, I do. He's been given the car keys to the shortstop position for a franchise that if he produces, he'd have that spot for 6 years. And so that is the mental part of the game for Joey O. He has to keep his head on straight. And I know it's disappointing for him. It's not for lack of effort. Not, I don't want to sound trite on this. Dude's trying. He is. There's no question about it. But at some point, it's a produce-based business. And you're going to have to produce, Joey. Are you willing? I received so many calls from Brewer fans saying, I'll give up some defense to upgrade the offense at shortstop. Be careful with that. When you look at the best offensive teams in the league, either league, they're not 1 through 9 all-star offensive numbers. Let's keep that in mind. What are you depending on Joey Ortiz to provide offensively? Are you expecting him to be a 25-30 home? No, you get that out of Vaughn. You don't eat. You have to set a bar for each of these players. I'm not saying he's Jose Reyes from years ago for the Mets, where it's acceptable to go 197. The game has changed a little bit from that aspect, but my goodness, Joey, can you at least go 232?
Yeah,
241. Would we take that? I think so.
Tim Allen, Inside Wisconsin Sports, on his way to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl this weekend.
Fun.
Timmy, as we let you go, rapid fire. It is Tim Allen Super Bowl betting rapid fire time.
Oh, man.
Okay, here we go. Rapid fire. Now,
you
can't think about it.
You have $36. What are you doing, Tim?
No analysis.
Okay. I'm down to $36.
All right, here we go. Seahawks, Patriots. Seahawks minus 4.5. What are you taking?
I feel better if I lose betting the Seahawks. I would feel horrible if I bet the Patriots and lose.
Money line, Patriots
sort
or
of
Seahawks?
A sight game, because here's why.
Rapid fire, Tim.
I know that, but they're the team that's just flying high. Jackson Smith and Jigba and Kenny Walker. I mean, it looks like, yeah, that's the thing. Also, how about a prop bet for you? Drake May, young quarterback, he's going to run the football, not by design. And I'm not saying he's going to panic, but a young quarterback, he's 23 years old, gentlemen. There's going to be times where he just says, screw it, I'm going. Over on the yards rushing for Drake May.
Okay, over yards rushing for Drake May. What about MVP?
MVP, I'm zeroed in on JSN or Walker. I know it's a little bit chalk, but I don't think Darnold gets it. If the Patriots do win the ball game, Drake May gets it.
JSM is plus 550. Kenneth Walker plus 650.
Decent value.
I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Yeah. Over under 45.5.
Under.
The color of the Gatorade.
Ooh, blue.
Blue. Got it. And last but not least,
Brewer blue.
Nice.
I like it. Heads or tails?
I've never made that wager. I just prefer to go throw $10 on number 19 on the roulette wheel and go big.
I like that.
$75 on the return. I'm going to go heads.
Heads it is. We'll check in with you when you get
it is
back.
Vegas. You might want to say tail.
Oh,
I'm sorry, tails.
Nice.
Tails.
How are we supposed to fail?
Huzzah, Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Timmy, we'll talk to you when you get back from Vegas. All the best. Good luck out there. And go Seahawks, I guess.
Thanks, Trevor. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, boys.
All right, Tim Allen on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Tommy Wart's in for Josh today. When we come back, let's chat a little Packers. Some news has broken since the last time we checked in with our guy, Andy Herman. He joins us next. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor and Josh, Tommy in for Josh today.
No, I got a lot of faith in Rich and his staff, what they do around here. Not only the X's and O's and what they bring to the field, but what they bring to this place culturally is really important.
Brian Gutekunst had his end-of-year presser the other day. So we got to check in with our guy, Andy Herman, joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Back on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Andy, as a fan yet doing what you do, I think you were in the room. Were you in the room for Goody? I thought I heard your voice.
I was going to ask the follow-up question to about Goody or about Rich Bisaccia and asked what gives him the faith in Rich Bisaccia. So yeah, absolutely.
Well, what was the answer then, and what does give him the faith?
That's a great question. I don't know that I fully.
It's a great question because that's what you asked.
Yes, exactly. Right. So yeah, a couple things. I think one of the things. Let me start by saying this: I'm not team # Rich Bisaccia. If it were up to me, which it's probably thankfully not, I would probably have tried to do something different and just change things up at this point. But I think when we say special teams, that's a vague term for everything that goes on. There's a lot of different aspects of special teams. All right. So there's kicking, there's punting, there's coverage units, there's return units, there's the blocking up front. There's a lot of different things that is encompassed within special teams. There is some aspects of that Rich Bisaccia has control over. There are others that he does not. What I would say is, if you look at how they've kind of pieced together this special teams and what he kind of has under his control, or what maybe went well, the coverage units were actually very, very good. In fact, they were some of the top coverage units, both on punt coverage and kick coverage in the NFL. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. Yes. They do have one of the best punters in the NFL, and he punted very well. I do think that they pointed out that Matt Orzik has done a great job as a long snapper. I'm going to take him at his word. I can pretend to be a lot of things. A long snapper evaluator is not one of those things. I'm going to take him at his word that the long snapper is doing a darn good job. Awesome. That's great. The two areas where Green Bay has struggled, that's cost them for the most part, has been in the return game and has been specifically at the end of the year with Brandon McManus and missing kicks. Let's start with the return game. It's a little bit tough on Rich because they didn't give Rich a returner other than Keyshawn Nixon, which I will be willing to bet you just about anything that it's not Rich Bisaccia's idea not to play his best players on special teams. That's somewhere between a Keyshawn Nixon and a Matt LaFleur issue. If it were up to Rich, he would get all 53 players at his disposal to play special teams. So they didn't give him a returner. Savion Williams is an okay kick returner at best. Matthew Golden didn't really work out. That Jaden Reed was hurt as a punt returner. Even he has not been great. So it's tough to have a great return unit when you don't have a returner. And as far as field goal kicking goes, early in the year when they had the blocking issues up front where there were the block kicks that we saw it a year ago as well, that's a Rich Bisaccia problem. They didn't have Elton Jenkins and some of their best linemen on the kick, on the field goal block units early in the season. I would once again propose that's probably not Rich's decision. If it's up to him, again, he wants all 53 of his guys. And if you don't have access to those and Brant Banks is in there and is allowing an issue, again, you can only sometimes do so much. The other thing is for the actual kicking itself, for Brandon McManus, I like how Justice Mosqueda defined this. Kickers are basically like independent contractors. There's not much that anybody can do to say, hey, make this field goal better. Like, he's going to work with his individual kicking coach in the offseason and things like that. But at some point, as long as the snap is good and the hold is good, which for the most part, I think they were throughout the course of the year, the kicker has to go out and make his kicks. And if he doesn't, it's really hard to point at Rich. What the heck, buddy? Why didn't Brandon make his kick? I don't know. He didn't. And so again, I'm not out here to defend Rich Bisaccia. I think at some point in time, over a 3-year period of time, when overall you're ranked in the bottom 3 of special teams pretty much every single year, guys, if you give me minimal stuff to work with in my job, it's still my job to figure out how can I make this work and how can I find creative solutions to make this work one way or another, even without ideal circumstances. And I don't think Rich has done a great job of elevating it to that level. But I will say the areas where he sort of has control over, where they've given him tools to succeed, he has succeeded. In the areas where it's kind of out of his control, they didn't give him the tools, those areas have failed. Again, not here to defend him. I think that's probably a little bit of the thinking. do with that what you will.
Special teams kind of sounds like radio when you put it that way there, Andy Herman.
This
Andy,
is why they need the Tommy Warts on the special team. Just the ones that fixes everything. It's like what is that patch that they put on the glass and it's just like it just fixes it. That's
Flex
Tommy
Seal.
Wart.
I'm the human Flex Seal. I got it. Yeah. There's another one there we can use. Andy Herman, Pack a Day Podcast, joining us here on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Andy, have you channeled your inner Ken Ingalls and done the George Pickens math yet? Have you looked into that by any means? Andy, honestly, I understand he's probably comes in and he's the number one, but I don't know if I really even want to go through the cap gymnastics that would be Kay Adams recruiting another player to Green Bay. Do you know anything about the situation, if it was going to work, how it would work? I don't know if there's really any legs, but sure enough, Micah Parsons happened. So now I'm like, whatever Green Bay does, like they can do whatever they want to.
Yeah, first of all, listen, if Kay Adams, the real general manager of the team says it's George Pickens time, it's George. Who are we to disagree at that point in time? It's George Pickens time.
Yeah.
But obviously there's connections with Micah, and obviously there's actually, is there connections with Micah? Because
same agent. They're David Melgetta.
Okay, there it is. That's what it is. Because Pickens went last year to Dallas, right? That was his first year in Dallas last year, and Micah is gone.
Full year, yeah. First full year. Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit of carryover there, but either way, could they make it work? Long story short, yes. Is that the position that you want to invest your sort of one big swing into? I think the answer is probably not. You have a pretty good wide receiver core already. You're already trying to figure out ways to get Matthew Golden more involved. Christian Watson's going to get a contract extension this offseason. So yes, you theoretically could get that done, but it's going to almost inherently make you ignore defensive line, corner, and offensive line because you spent pretty much all of your resources financially on George Pickens. Now, you could be creative. You could be creative and say, all right, we're going to sign George Pickens because he wants to be here and he's maybe willing to take a little bit of a discount to come to Green Bay or something because he wants to play with Micah. And then could you say, all right, well, we now know we're not going to re-sign Jaden Reed in 2027 when he's a free agent. Could you take Jaden Reed and canvass the league and say, hey, is there a starting corner or a starting defensive tackle or a starting offensive lineman that we could get for Jaden Reed? Sure, that's possibly something that you could do. So there's ways that you could manipulate this, but I think it's extremely, extremely unlikely that George Pickens is a Packer.
We need we need to trade for Kenny Clark with George Pickett, get him back. Will you send Jaden Reed for Kenny Clark over here? And then we'll get you Kenny Clark for George Pickens, in ultimate funny Cowboys fashion.
The funny thing is, I don't think it's a complete impossibility that Kenny Clark could be a Packer this offseason, because after all of the stuff with, we got to have Kenny Clark, they paid Oso Odigizara, a huge contract at last offseason, and then they trade for Quinnen Williams in season. Kenny was okay for Dallas, but he wasn't like gangbusters, and his contract really does not fit, what he's getting paid in Dallas. I think there's actually a very good chance that Kenny actually ends up getting cut in Dallas. And if so, guess which team needs a defensive tackle who can help stop the run and, maybe is a little bit familiar with the organization. It's not, I don't think it's going to happen, but it's not entirely impossible.
Jeez. We thought it was elder abuse before. If Kenny Clark somehow lands back in Green Bay, can you imagine that after all of that? Andy Herman at Andy Herman NFL, the Pack a Day Podcast, joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports. Andy, Betty Goody's presser. There were some people that were disappointed in what he did or didn't share, yet I looked at that through a lens of, duh. I don't know what you expected. Did you learn anything in that presser? Were you excited that he said certain things? And I guess maybe overall, what was your take?
Okay. So this is where you have to sort of have a PhD in Goody speak a little bit to sort of understand what he means and maybe what he doesn't mean. What I would say is I hear a lot of Packers fans that are angry about where things are headed because of complacency. You're just bringing back Goody and LaFleur and Russ Ball, and it's just going to be another, 10-7 season and first round playoff exit. We've seen this story. We know how it ends. And it's just everyone's getting their contract extension and keeps their buddies like Rich Bisaccia around, and everyone's just complacent. The first thing I will say is that complacency was the last thing that I took away from Brian Gutekunst in that press conference. You could tell that that's about as pissed as he has been in a press conference and unhappy as he has been in a press conference.
I am so glad you're saying that. Sorry to interrupt you. I am so glad you're saying that, Andy, because a lot of people watch this through the same lens as every other press conference. The first 2 words he said when somebody said, "How are you doing processing the season?" He said, "Not good."
Yeah. He mentioned on 3 different occasions losing the last 5 games of the season. You know, he was clearly very upset about that. He even said, I thought one of the bigger takeaways was he said, yes, we were 9-3-1, but I didn't think we were playing particularly great football. So even at 9-3-1, pre-Micah injury, he was not happy with the way that the team was playing. And he said he thought that the team could have rounded into form at that point, that they still had everything in front of them, but clearly it didn't. They went on to lose 5 games in a row at that point in time. He also said he needed to, they need to make sure that they've got the right players in the right places, that they're being utilized the right way. He said that they have got to get back to the basics and make sure that they are figuring out ways to close games. He was anything but complacent. He was very frustrated, you could tell. And again, I can only imagine this is a few weeks after the season ended. I can only imagine if that press conference had taken place a couple days after the season had ended, of how he was feeling at that point in time. So I think the first thing is if there's this idea that there's a complacency within Lambeau, certainly at minimum, it did not come across that way from Goody. Now, where you might say, well, what about the other stuff? Rich Bisaccia gets a huge vote of confidence, which we talked about already. He talked about Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon playing really good football. And well, part of the job description for a general manager is flat out lying in some of these situations. Goody gains nothing by throwing any player under the bus in this situation, whether it be a Nate Hobbs, a Carrington Valentine, a Keyshawn Nixon, and Aaron Banks, or Rashawn Gary, whoever it might be. If there's any feel for him, like, hey, I might want to trade one of these guys, or I want to continue to have these guys have value, going out and saying, yeah, we were really disappointed in the way that Carrington played, or yeah, Keyshawn was a massive disappointment at corner, we're going to have to figure out something else. You also don't want to tip your hand from a free agency standpoint or from a draft standpoint as to what your potential needs might be going into the season. So there is no advantage whatsoever to either bashing a player that's under contract, or to say we're going to go in a different direction, or to say what your needs are on the team. It only hurts you as a GM. So that's the part where you have to parse out and say, yeah, of course he's not going to throw anybody under the bus. And it behooves him to specifically lie and say, yep, everyone's amazing. We love everything. Everything's just peachy keen. But if you really go again to the crux of his conversation at the beginning, I know you love peachy keen.
I love peachy keen. That was a great callback for all the old timers.
You're
there,
welcome.
Peachy keen.
If you really look at the beginning and what he's really saying, and he even said so the way you're seeing it out of both sides of his mouth. At the beginning, he says, we just lost 5 games in a row. Nobody's job is decided at this point. We're looking at everything. And then, what about guys under contract? Asked about Banks and Hobbs and Gary, etc. Well, anybody that's under contract as of right now, we expect to have back. That's just a lie. Elton Jenkins is not going to be back. Rashawn Gary, very unlikely to be back. So again, it doesn't benefit him at all to say some of the things that we would love to hear as fans. And in a way, he has to sort of fall on the sword and say, like, yeah, we love this. Now, I will say the Keyshawn answer is one that's intriguing to me, because he's either a very good liar or he was sincere about that one. Because, to say, obviously, Keyshawn Nixon had a really, really great season, led the league, or was third in the league in pass breakups. That was a pretty quick pull. And to say, obviously, he had a really, really great season, that felt a little bit more sincere. But what I will say overall at the end of the day is what we see from Goody this offseason and what actions that they ultimately take are going to speak volumes over what anything he says in a press conference could potentially do.
Andy Herman, the Pack a Day podcast. Follow him on Twitter at Andy Herman, WNFL, not WNFL, NFL. WNFL is where I'm at.
Okay, plug guy.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry about that.
We're operating on less sleep today, Andy, I guess.
Who is?
Something. I don't know.
Maybe you are. No, you actually got just enough sleep, didn't you, Tommy?
Just enough sleep.
Yep, nailed it. Tommy overslept today. Andy, you ever oversleep?
Oh, yeah. I did what, twice, Tommy, in our show where Tommy had to cover for me?
Andy, I woke up at 5:30. It wasn't even the same scenario, but I missed 3 calls from Trevor. I slept here like I always do when I work the morning show over there. And Now it's like Tommy texting Sparky, texting everyone else involved. Like, I mean, just guys,
Everyone.
the show was on air. Show was on air. All right. I'm sorry. I told Trevor 5. It was 5:30. My bad.
Flex seal.
Yeah, flex seal.
Andy, thanks for jumping on, man. We appreciate you.
I appreciate it, guys. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
Be good. Andy Herman joining us on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Are we done yet? Nope, not quite. Got to talk to John Kuhn as we cross over with 9 to noon. That's next. We're inside Wisconsin sports on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Those studios powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Tommy Warts. Tom. Let's just go with Tom. Warts.
I got Thomas the other day here because we had Vinny Rotino on a couple of days ago, and I've known him Vinny Rotino from the
Not Castilla.
not Castilla, right? Yeah, that was rough from Rick. But he's known me long enough where he had me saved in the phone as Thomas, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know Thomas," when he was talking to me, and Mitch and Mason were like, who the hell is this guy? Right? Yeah. So I liked it. It was cool.
John Kuhn joining us to chat a little bit before 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff joins the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Johnny, 15 years ago today, brother, you were in the victory formation when the clock ticked down and you were a Super Bowl champion. I watched that video, man, and I was like, God, what was going through your head, or did you black out?
I had no idea February 6th was the anniversary. And it's funny, right? Because there's not a lot that it's going so fast at that time. There's not a lot that you really remember. I do remember this from immediately after the snap. I remember saying to Aaron Rodgers, you did it, we did it, and then shaking the hands of Casey Hampton and Brett Kiesel, 2 defensive linemen for the Steelers. And normally there's a big kind of collection after football games, every football game, congratulating your opponent if they won, or them congratulating you, or just showing your good sportsmanship. But after the Super Bowl, generally the loser just gets out of there, because now it's time for the champions to celebrate and do their thing on the field. So I do remember those 2 guys specifically coming over to me, because I was on that Steelers team a few years before, and saying, good job. And then it's just mayhem. It's absolute mayhem after that, Trevor, where I'm trying to get my family on the field. I only have so many passes. I don't have enough passes for everybody. So I got people climbing over the fence to get in. And yeah, that's the way it goes after you win a Super Bowl. Pretty much anything.
John, I got a question for you in regards to this Super Bowl. I won't make you spoil anything necessarily here in this time overlap, but which one is the better story for you? If Drake May is winning Super Bowls in his second year, or Sam Darnold after being given up on by a couple of organizations, and then even having his best year of his career last year getting given up on, he comes out triumphant in the end?
I think it's got to be Sam Darnold. I absolutely do. And listen, the Patriots and what they have done in Mike Vrabel's first year, it's an incredible story. And Drake May in year number 2, just missing the MVP last night. He's had a spectacular career, and obviously, Robert Kraft, and just going to another Super Bowl, because that's kind of what he does as an owner. That's a great story, and the Patriots back on the mountaintop. But I think it's got to be Sam Darnold, just with the simple fact of this man was pretty much left for dead after he said he saw ghosts in New York, and has done nothing but rebuild his career slowly but surely, getting with a couple really great offensive minds, and Shanahan. He spent a year within the 49ers, and then KOC in Minnesota, and then John Schneider, our friend John Schneider, finding the perfect fit for the change in offense that he wanted to happen this year. And it didn't just happen, it happened all the way to the Super Bowl. I think it's got to be Sam Darnold and the Seahawks as the better story.
John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, 9 to noon coming up next. John, 15 years ago, I know you said you didn't know it was today, but does it seem that long ago?
It does. It does, Trevor. I hate to say, well, I mean, on one hand, it does feel like we were just here yesterday, but there are so many things that have happened in the interim. I've had 2 girls. I've played for another team. Now if you said, does it feel like 7 years that I've been calling games for the Packers? That's where I would say no. That's where I would say no. It doesn't feel like 7 years. I feel like just yesterday I started doing this. That has gone really quickly. But 15 years ago, yeah, it feels like an eternity. It's time for the Packers to win another one.
That's his way of saying his body feels old. And it just, I can tell he played in the NFL for a while.
No, I'm lucky enough I can still walk Green Bay Country Club and make it up and down those hills and get back and survive. And I was very lucky to make it through my career and not have as many injuries as some of my teammates and some of the aches and pains. But 15 years, Trevor, long ass time. I mean,
yeah, man.
we're talking about I didn't have either of my kids at that point in time, and life is completely different for me now than what it was when we did win the Super Bowl.
It's like 3 presidents ago. I mean, come on.
No politics punch.
Sorry.
John Kuhn, Rami Makloff, 9 to noon, coming up next on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Our thanks to Guest-a-Palooza today. Brad Davison from the Wisconsin Badgers, Andy Herman from the Pack-A-Day Podcast, Tim Allen. You ever see those videos where this is me before Vegas? This is me after Vegas. Like, I can only imagine how Timmy's going to come back as we get ready for the weekend, because it is finally Friday. I'm Jack, man. Thanks for filling in for Josh. Tommy, I appreciate you.
Yeah, I had no choice. It's cool.
Well, hopefully, wow. Would you have chosen yes or no?
I do. I have fun every time we're here.
Yes or no? Let's hit up some Friday Fish Fries, Wisconsin. Have a great weekend. We will see you again on Monday inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor, and today Tommy Wartz in for Josh. Have a good one.
I got a little sugar baby down the road. She's sitting on a radiant